What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host, the best one, Donnie, here with...
What is going on, everybody? Danny Huckins here, man. 1/3 of We Are Wrestling. Me and Donnie are riding solo because we're going to be talking about some AEW predictions. And Ben isn't really, he's more of a WWE guy. Me and Donnie are, sort of in the middle right there.
I'd say you and I, we're definitely all around when it comes to professional wrestling. Ben, he's trying to get into it, but he's so used to the WWE, which is understandable.
But we're going to be giving you guys our predictions for AEW's, hands down, the biggest show of the fucking year. AEW All Out 2022 taking place at the United Center in Chicago, Sunday night. It's going to be awesome, man. We are going to be doing a watch along, myself and Donnie, and I believe he might have a little guest joining us. So it's going to be really cool. We're going to be streaming on this channel as well as my channel, Danny H Vlogs. So make sure you guys tune in, man.
Definitely go support Danny with, his watch-alongs. He's doing them all the time for wrestling on Danny H Vlogs. It is in the links down below. But before we get into our predictions video, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like a super kick. And of course, you already know, the grind is real. And with All Out, happening on Sunday, I'm very excited for this event. But I do want to say before we get into the, predictions, since, you and I don't do reviews anymore, since our schedules are very busy nowadays, I just want to say with AEW All Out, I am not as excited for this event as I was last year for All Out. I was very disappointed in a lot of last-minute booking decisions. You're going to hear my opinions on those throughout, the match card. And Dynamite, I've been a little bit disappointed the last couple weeks going into this big pay-per-view. And usually that's not me. I enjoy AEW.
Yeah, man. It just, Tony Khan's not going to hit a home run, every time. I sort of explained to you in Messenger earlier today, my thoughts and theories or whatever, especially surrounding the main event, Moxley versus Punk, and sort of, where my thought process is surrounding that story, because I know you weren't that crazy about it, especially what happened 2 weeks ago. But
I was
hands
crazy
down, bro, like
squash match.
But hands down, bro, like, even though the match doesn't seem good, booking wise, I have a feeling that it's going to be a great fucking show to watch. I mean, WrestleMania, let's face it, WrestleMania this year was a lot better than it had any right to be. You know what I mean? So, with how the build is for a lot of these shows or whatever, I guess it just proves that you can't really rely on that, you know what I mean? Because, these guys can go out and they can, they can put on a fucking showcase.
You see, that's the thing. I am not going to take away anything from the talent whatsoever because I know these matches are going to be bangers. Do not get me wrong. There's a reason why these matches are on this card. But some of the booking decisions that were last second, Tony Khan, I think the reason why it was this way was because of Forbidden Door. After the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, they should have been focusing on AEW and AEW only with their biggest show, All Out. But instead, they wanted to focus on some Ring of Honor stuff with, Death Before Dishonor and having
that was a great show,
Empire
by the way.
do stuff. They have, still doing the Forbidden Door stuff, which I think AEW, after All Out, they really need to focus on AEW. Because it's not helping them whatsoever. Let the Forbidden Door thing be a special. That's supposed to be a special attraction.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's a select few people from New Japan that I would, that I enjoy seeing.
I love Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay, obviously. Did you, by the way, I guess it's just sort of coincide with it. Did you see the tweet that he put out? I don't know if it was photoshopped or whatever, but did you see the tweet?
It's not photoshopped. when he like tweeted at Tony Khan in AEW saying that
He's
he's
gone for the
not gonna be.
foreseeable
This was his
future. Yep.
last show.
Yep.
No, that's all character because him and Kenny Omega, they have a rivalry that goes like all the way back to New Japan. So for
Yep.
now, like this is his way of this is his way of not looking bad. So that
Yep.
like he still gets credibility for, his work and stuff because he did lose the, match against Omega and the Young Bucks.
Did you hear how Justin Roberts was introducing Kenny Omega on Dynamite, bro? Just
Loved it.
roasting Will Ospreay the entire fucking time.
I love Kenny Omega and what he's done ever since, the new attitude change. I love
Yep.
every second of it. Don Callis being with him, love it. Absolutely love it. And I do love how they are, in the trios. I do
Yep.
really like that with the Young Bucks.
Well, it got mentioned a couple months ago that Tony Khan, the reason why it took so long to get the trio belts was Tony Khan wanted to wait until Kenny Omega came back. I didn't know if you heard those reports or not, but
I did, and I think, they made the right decision there. But now let's get into some, all out predictions because we already know that
it's
this
gonna
is
be a
going to be a
long
long
show.
predictions video because we are not like every other wrestling YouTube channel where, we just say who's going to win and that's it. Danny and I, we really want to like analyze and really, go over why we think what's going to happen is going to happen. We really want to, have those good discussions. And that is why we love you. We are Wrestling Maniacs who support us. Remember, we're almost there at 2K, so get us there. We'll be doing a giveaway for one of you. But
Absolutely, Donnie's gonna give
we
away
got
his
to get
car.
into this predictions because it's going to be a long one. So,
14 matches, bro.
14 matches. And we're going to start off with the pre-show, the kickstart of the event with the FTW Championship. Hook will be defending his title against a member of the Jericho Appreciation Society, Angelo Parker. Cool hand.
Yeah. We definitely know that Hook is gonna retain the title. Obviously, I don't really necessarily. This title doesn't really necessarily mean anything when it comes to like AEW or whatever. And this is one of those matches like you were talking about earlier, and we've had a couple of discussions over the last week. This is one of those matches that was just sort of like thrown on the card for the sake of having an extra match on the card. You know what I mean? That's one thing I'm not. Before we get like heavy into the predictions, I do got to say this. You know, I feel like these shows would go over a lot better if there weren't as many matches. I don't necessarily think you need to have 3 matches on the pre-show, you know what I mean? I feel like that time, you like maybe have a match here and there, but have that time to really like break down each storyline, have video packages, that cuz that's the last part of build before the actual show.
That's the thing that AEW, I will give credit where it's due. They do that. I
Yep.
do love the way that they do their pre-shows. I can watch those a lot more than WWE pre-shows. I will
Yeah,
say
but
that
I just
AEW's got the upper hand on WWE when it comes to
do
that.
you necessarily think they need to have 3 matches on the pre-show though? I could have dealt
Yes,
with like
if
1,
they
maybe
had
2.
proper storylines to them.
Yeah.
Yes, if they had
Yeah.
proper storylines to them. This match does not have any friggin' proper storyline to it whatsoever. I love the way that they were building Hook when he first came to AEW. I'm very
Yep.
happy that they did give him the FTW title. And I think with Hook, if they were going to have this match against Angelo Parker, they should have built it for a couple weeks on Rampage with some segments with the Jericho Appreciation Society, because then it gives you that reason why he's going against Angelo Parker and maybe
Yep.
not Jake Hager or Guevara. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, I've watched every Rampage and every Dynamite, for the last couple months, except for last week. I didn't watch Rampage because I just didn't felt I just felt like it wasn't necessary. I'm probably gonna watch it tonight because it is live. Obviously, we're recording this on Friday. Um, but there hasn't been any kind of interaction between Hook and Angelo Parker on Rampage or Dynamite. I don't know if like they've been on Dark or anything like that, but I haven't seen any
No.
kind of interaction with them. So it's kind of weird that this match was just sort of like thrown together. It's almost like you
Here's
know,
why I
taking
think this
taking some.
happened.
It's almost like taking an idea, throwing it at the wall, and seeing what sticks. You know what I mean?
Here's why they did this, because AEW obviously knows Hook is an attraction. You know,
Hmm.
people, he is still over with the crowd. Even when I was at that show in Worcester, when he came
Yep.
out and beat Ricky Starks for that title, the crowd was over. He is over
Yep.
as fuck. I think with Hook, what really, this would have been better if, they maybe did like, how they were kind of building it before with Double or Nothing. It should have been at
Yep.
Double or Nothing, not a tag match. Should have been
Yep.
Hook versus Tony Nese and having the streak on the line. But with this show, with All Out, they should have definitely did something a little bit more proper, a little bit more, background into it, so that like maybe you could have done Hook versus Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs, maybe to start
That would
off
have been
All Out.
that would have been interesting. I don't necessarily know. Like that match to me seems like it would have been too big of a match to have on the pre-show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm not
But I
saying that's. I'm saying on the regular show they could have done that.
yeah. But
But I
I
get
feel
why
like
they have, try to protect Hook. They want to put over Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs.
but yeah, I like they probably could have picked somebody a lot better than Angelo Parker to put against Hook. But I don't want to harbor on it too much. Like we have a
Mhm.
lot of matches to get
Yeah, we
through.
do.
Um but yeah, so I think Hook's gonna definitely get the victory.
Oh, Hook's going to tap him out. He's going to win via submission.
We'll be happy. We'll be like lucky if this match lasts 5 minutes, knowing Hook. Like
But
he's
I will
beating
say this,
everybody.
before we do move forward on to the next match, I do want to say I think Angelo Parker and the other guy that's a part of, the Jericho Appreciation Society, Daddy Magic, right? That's his name,
I th-
Daddy Magic.
I think so, bro. I don't
I'm
pay
having a
attention
brain
to
fart. I
fucking
usually
names.
know his name, but they both have been doing a phenomenal job since, coming to
Yeah.
AEW. So, like, I do want to say that Angelo Parker's actually been doing really good.
Do you
But I
think
still think
it'll?
that this match is just a filler.
Do you? I do too, but do you think with you being happy the way that he's been getting built with Jericho Appreciation Society, do you think if like he gets squashed pretty much because that's exactly what it's gonna be? I don't think any Hook match has gone past 4 or 5 minutes. Do you think it's gonna hinder his progress on Dynamite at all, especially being a part of Jericho's crew?
I don't know, because I think what's going to happen, Hook probably moving forward after this, he's probably going to do something with, Daddy Magic. Then he's
Hmm.
probably going to do something maybe with Hager down the line, which I would like to see
I
Hook
could see
versus
that.
Hager for like
Yeah, they
maybe
both
full
have
gear.
that. They both
But
have that
let it
martial arts
build.
boxing. Yep.
Let it
I
build. This
I
is
could
just a
definitely see that.
throw in, which I don't like at all. Hook's got to
Yep.
win.
Yep.
Our next
Definitely.
match for the pre-show, we have another throw match that was, a curveball. Eddie Kingston versus Tamahiro Ishii, right?
Ishii. Ishii.
Ishii.
Yeah, man. I'm not that familiar with Tamahiro. Like I think he's done some stuff on Dynamite or whatever, but he hasn't really been there enough to me to like have me actually care. He's a New Japan guy. So I want to say Eddie Kingston is gonna win because he's been on a roll, and bro, like Eddie Kingston is over as fuck.
Yeah.
He's just so everything he does, man. He makes you feel like it's real. You know what I mean? Like he makes it like brings pro wrestling and this sport, this entertainment that we love, and brings it into like a real life situation. You know what I mean? And he makes you really believe and feel with what he's saying, what he's on the mic, in the ring. So
Because
I
Eddie
want to say that.
Kingston is different, which is a good
Yeah.
thing that we need in wrestling.
Hmm.
So, my thoughts on this match, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this Forbidden Door crap. AEW needs to focus on AEW. Eddie Kingston, I will say this. One thing I'm very happy with is that Tony Khan did not throw Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara for this show, because I know they did have some backstage issues prior
Yeah.
to last couple weeks. And at least, I'm sure they're going to definitely continue the storyline with the two, but at
Yeah.
least they didn't just throw it onto this card and they're going to wait, which I think is the right thing that they're doing there. But throwing Eddie Kingston into a match with this guy that I don't really care, I feel like the casual fans don't really care about. This is just a waste of time. I probably, during the watch along, I will be going to 7-Eleven to get myself a Slurpee. I got Eddie Kingston winning.
Yeah, so we both got Eddie Kingston winning. Let's move on to the next match, man.
All right, our last match for the pre-show, the kickoff for this pay-per-view All Out. It is for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship. Pac will be defending the title against the returning Kip Sabian.
This is a match that it definitely hasn't just like sort of sprung out of thin air. You know what I mean? This has been building the last couple of weeks,
They
last
have
couple
been
of
building
months.
it, which I like.
Yeah. You know, Kip Sabian, and they've been showing video packages or whatever the last couple months. Kip Sabian, following Pac all around the world or whatever. Obviously, wearing the box. Obviously, he was wearing something on his head, so I don't necessarily know, if it was Kip Sabian the
It
entire fucking
was.
time.
Here's something I will say. I'm sorry for interrupting, but anytime you see the guy with the box on his head, that is Kip Sabian. When I was at the show in Worcester, he was doing the same thing. You could just
Well,
easily
yeah,
tell if
but
you look at the eyes.
if he was, if he was just gonna do this whole thing at just like a random indie show in fucking like New Mexico or whatever, I honestly don't think he would have fucking traveled all that way just to put a box on his head for fucking
No,
5
but he
minutes.
is from the UK. That's
Yeah,
why he
it
probably did
definitely,
that.
it definitely was him. Every time you saw him on TV and this and that. But I don't think it was him. Like, if they were at like an indie show or something like that, it was probably
No, you'd
somebody
be
that was
surprised. A
acting like
lot of
him.
his independent bookings, because I do follow Kip on like Instagram and Twitter. He is at all those shows. Like he does do UK shows. He actually did wrestle before I got the opportunity to meet him at Kineticon. He actually
Yeah.
did wrestle, in the UK and stuff around the time that he did the stuff with Pac, because that's when he got medically cleared.
All right, so maybe it was him. I don't know. I was just throwing it out
Mhm.
there that it possibly was
Oh,
a
trust me, it's
stunt
him.
double in a way or whatever. So that's cool. Like they've been building it the last couple of months. I loved how Kip Sabian got involved. I believe it was either this week or last week. Can't remember
Last
offhand.
week.
And pretty much DDT Pac on the floor outside the ring. That was pretty cool, and it really, solidified like Kip Sabian, man. Like I'm coming for that title. So, do I see
Embrace
Pac
the
losing the title?
change.
Do I see Pac losing the title right now? No, because I don't think he's had it a long time, and I do think he hasn't even scratched the surface what he can do with it. But I do think that I think that Pac wins, but I don't see this being the last between him and Kip Sabian. You know?
Here's the thing. If Pac is going to retain the title, I really hope this isn't the last of Kip, because I think if they properly give this man some time, let him do some stuff on Dark like he's been doing, let him do, some more stuff on Rampage, I
Mhm.
think that with, proper storylines and stuff, this new Kip Sabian could definitely get over. I've been talking about this for months about Kip Sabian and what, I see lots of potential with this character change. He's very, dedicated to it. And I think that this is going to be one of the most underrated bangers of this pay per view, because these two can both definitely work in the ring. And I just love the fact that AEW is actually giving Kip this opportunity to show what he can do, especially against somebody that knows what he's doing in the ring. This is
It
going to
just
be a
makes
great match. It's going to make the title look great, but I got to go with Pac.
yeah.
I
I
want
gotta
Kip to
go.
win, but Pac's going to win.
Yeah, I want Pac to win because we know how talented the guy is. I just don't think he's even scratched the surface with the amount of potential that he has as the All Atlantic champion. There's a lot of banger matches I would like to see. What if he faced one of the Lucha Brothers? What if he faced, Malachi? What if he faced, like there's just so many guys. You know what I mean? I would like to see him tangle with for the title. But I definitely don't think this is gonna be the end of Pac versus Kip Sabian. I think it's gonna continue. They might even be on the main show come full gear. You never know.
I really hope, because you see here with Kip, I do want to see this man win the All Atlantic Championship at some point. And I would not
Yeah.
mind if he actually does beat Pac for the title. I really would not mind for that to be an upset, because I feel like Kip can actually do something with the title. While on the other hand, Pac unfortunately hasn't really done much, because with AEW, they're trying to book him as a champion, but they're also trying to book him as a trios with, Death Triangle. So I think,
Yeah.
giving Kip the title, letting him do stuff in the UK with it, and, having the box over his head and stuff, this can create some pretty good storylines. It's, like when I'm watching Dynamite, I can admit this, even before I met Kip, because I've,
Mhm.
gained more respect for him when I met him. Even before that, I would always pay attention to the crowd, and I would always look for him.
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel like a lot of fans are doing with Kip because we've been seeing this man in with the box over his head for friggin' almost a year now. So I feel
Yeah,
like there's
man.
something captivating about that. But I gotta go with Pac.
Yeah, so we both got Pac on that match, man. What's the next match?
All right, so now getting into the AEW All Out official match card here. We are going to start this off with a 6-man tag match. We have the House of Black versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro.
You may not be excited for this match, but I am. Because, the tension between Miro and House of Black have been building for a while. Like I said earlier, because we were talking about it earlier today, I can't remember offhand the exact time when Malachi, obviously spit the mist in Miro's face or whatever. But I feel like since then, this has been building. And I do feel like Sting and Darby Allin getting involved makes a little bit of sense because obviously over the last several weeks we've seen, you know, Brody and Darby have some issues. We've seen,
Love
Malachi and
those
Sting.
matches that they have done with
We've
Brody and
seen
Darby.
we've seen Malachi and Sting, go have like face to face confrontations or whatever. So it does make sense from a story aspect. You know what I mean? I don't think this match was just like a thrown together type of match. I definitely think it makes sense and it definitely deserves to be on the card. As far as who I think is gonna win, I want to say how I normally would say House of Black, but I know Malachi. He's had a lot of back issues. I follow him on TikTok, and he posted one video to where he's at the gym or whatever, and then the next video or the next part of it, he's like having like these needles go into like his spine or whatever. So he's not 100%. So I'm gonna have to go with Darby, Sting, and Miro, just because I don't know what level of um I don't know what level Malachi's gonna be at, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it
no,
almost feels
I
like
get that.
it almost feels like it's gonna be a handicap match because nobody knows how much he'll be able to participate in the actual match. So I'm gonna have to go with Miro, Darby, and Sting.
So with this match, I, have been following the storyline. I know that there is a storyline to this because it's two separate storylines. Because
Yeah.
Malachi has been trying to get Miro, and Miro's been doing these, dark promos at Malachi. Sting and Malachi have been going at it. Darby, Brody have
Mhm.
been going at it. Buddy Matthews sitting there looking jacked as ever. This, I think, is going to be a good match. But I think the reason why I'm not looking forward to this match is because I'm thinking about the logic here. If you really
Mhm.
think about it, like looking at Tony Khan's booking, he has all these lists of wrestlers on his roster. So I
Yeah.
feel like for him, okay, we need to try to get these guys on the match card so that they're happy. So he paired up Miro with Sting and Darby, to go against them. That's why, for me, I think I'm not looking forward to it, because for me, I'm enjoying the individual rivalries for
Yeah.
this. I'm enjoying, because for me, I'm not going to lie, going into All Out, I really wanted it to be Malachi versus Darby or
Mhm.
Malachi versus Sting. And then, maybe do something with Brody and Miro, maybe.
Yeah.
But
But
I know they want to get everybody, make it the easiest way possible on the card. But I think Malachi and Darby, that would have been a banger match. But I
but the
know
thing is,
Malachi's not 100%.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like they wanted him to be a part of the show, obviously, but they don't know what level of health he's gonna be at. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Um,
Yeah, which I
and
do
I
hope after moving forward, if, Malachi does take some time away, I do hope that they do keep Buddy Matthews and Brody King on TV and let them, do some tag matches.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm looking forward to this match regardless, man. Like
Mhm.
I I understand from a business aspect having, a six-man tag or whatever, because people would have been bitching and moaning, man, if they would have added another 2 or 3 matches on this fucking 14 match card. And you obviously, these are, some of your big stars or whatever. Miro was away for a while. Malachi hasn't really been able to be physical or whatever. So
Mhm.
he's finally going to be able to get back in the routine and get back in the ring. Miro, I think this is only his like third or fourth match back since he returned. So,
Here's what I got. Here's something I'm gonna say. I don't want to, go into a big debate about this because we have a crazy card.
yeah,
AEW needs to do 2 nights, but here's who I think is going to win this match. I do think it's going to be Darby, Sting, and Miro for one reason. Miro, I feel like this is his first match really being back, and I don't see him losing.
yeah.
So, moving forward now to our next match on the All Out card, we have Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
This is This is a match that I didn't honestly think I was ever gonna see, or if I was gonna see, it was definitely wasn't gonna be now because up until a couple of weeks ago, they were almost fucking married, bro. Like you didn't see Powerhouse Hobbs on TV without Ricky Starks, and you damn sure didn't see Ricky Starks on TV without Powerhouse Hobbs.
I
It
was
was
there
almost
when it
like
happened.
they had some kind of weird fucking marriage situation going on. Um, but I like it because they both have individual star power, and they're turning Ricky Starks into a baby face, and just that promo whatever that he caught the night that he lost the FTW title. Like it was just so heartfelt, you know what I mean? You were there, you got to witness that magic in person.
It
And
was
also
over.
Powerhouse Hobbs, man, like I always thought the dude was a fucking monster, bro. Like you give him the right mindset and the right character, he'll go in there and just demolish everybody. And I've been
Hey, I
saying
just
that
want to
for a
say this
long
about
time.
Powerhouse Hobbs. There's a reason why CM Punk, before joining AEW, name dropped Powerhouse Hobbs. Just want to say that.
Definitely, man. Um
Here's what
I
I like
do
about the match. Here's what I like. I like the fact that both of these two, going into this match, they are exactly on the same level right
yeah,
now. They're both literally on the same level. It makes perfect sense because whoever wins this match and however, the booking decision happens during this match, one of these guys are going to move forward. And we
yeah.
get to see who that's going to be at All Out. Because for me, personally, I think that this can go either way. You got Ricky Starks, who's a phenomenal talent, and then you also have Powerhouse Hobbs, who has lots of potential.
They're both really good in-ring workers too. And this
Mhm.
is like one of the matches that I'm having a hard time contemplating like who
Here's who I think is going to win.
I want Ricky Starks to win, but I won't rule out the possibility of Powerhouse Hobbs absolutely demolishing him.
You know what I think is going to happen? I
What's up?
think Powerhouse Hobbs is going to beat Ricky Starks because when it comes to the booking of Ricky Starks, I feel like they're going to have him be an underdog. That's what they want to build him
It
as,
it
because
could
that's
almost
where
be
Ricky
like a
Starks
redemption story.
thrives. And they want to do something similar to Kenny Omega, because in the
Yeah,
beginning of Kenny Omega's AEW run, he was losing matches. And then,
yeah,
a lot of fans were complaining about it. And then, he came back with this whole new change and then became AEW World Champion. I think with Ricky
yeah.
Starks, right now, he's, a little bland. But I think, having this underdog storyline long term is going to do Ricky Starks benefits, and Powerhouse Hobbs beats Ricky. There you go. Keep building Powerhouse Hobbs up so that we go into Full Gear. Let's give the fans what they want. Powerhouse Hobbs versus friggin' Wardlow for the title.
I think if Ricky Starks does lose, which I mean, if he does lose, I don't think he'll lose any credibility.
He's not going to lose
It
any
it
credibility at all. This will
definitely
not be a squash match.
it definitely will build up Powerhouse Hobbs to be like that heel that I feel like is missing in AEW, and then I feel like it almost be like a redemption story. Ricky Starks, whatever he'll loathe in this, this sea of sadness and anger, or whatever, the fact that he lost his match, and he's just gonna have to work harder next time to, beat the monster.
I'm telling you, Ricky Starks is going to start from the bottom and then he's going to work his way up, and he's going to have one of the best underdog storylines. And this storyline thing, I'm not going to say this is going to happen right away, but I'm
Yeah,
telling you, they are going to build this for at least a good year and a half. This is going to
I
be
definitely think
long-term
so too.
booking.
And if Wardlow, I don't necessarily want it to happen, but let's face it, we haven't really enjoyed his TNT title reign. If he ends up dropping the title to Powerhouse Hobbs, I could definitely see Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks having a feud, and
Eventually, yes.
culminating to Ricky Starks beating Powerhouse Hobbs for the TNT title. So that's a
Exactly.
possibility too.
Full circle. And I think with, Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs, you do not do that until Full Gear. Let's, give Wardlow some competition for the TNT title. Let's give Powerhouse Hobbs, let him get over and stuff, and, keep getting those wins so that the ranking system can matter, since they like to post that every freaking week.
Yep,
I do want to see that for Full Gear. No, TV special. Full Gear. Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow.
that'd be awesome.
But now, moving forward to our next match on the card, we got a personal match here. Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy.
This is it's Jack Perry, man. Remember, he said on Dynamite this past Wednesday that Christian is not going to be facing Jungle Boy. He's going to be facing a Jack Perry.
All right, can I just say this?
What's up?
This was beautiful. This is what I've been waiting for. I know a lot of people, the promo that he cut in Worcester at the show I was at, where, he, came back a week before that, and, he cut
Hmm.
a promo. The fans online were, talking like, this is the Jungle Boy we wanted. But the people at the crowd for that show, for me personally being there, it was quiet. All
Oh,
you heard
really?
was crickets when he was
Damn.
cutting promo. All you heard was crickets. This is the Jack Perry I have been waiting for a long time. And they finally
Yeah.
gave it to me on Wednesday. And now, officially, I am excited for this match. Because the promo that he did at the show I was at did not do anything for me.
Yeah.
It kind of took away a little bit of what Christian Cage did.
I also love the fact that, obviously, this past week we had the sit down interview, and it was moderated by JR. And
Don't
JR
like
has
the music in the background, though.
I didn't either, but JR has moderated some of the biggest confrontation, one-on-one sit-downs. You're talking Austin The Rock before WrestleMania 17. You're talking about with Kane when he was playing that psycho character and he fucking lit JR on fire. Like JR, I
Mankind
mean, Mankind.
with Mick Foley.
JR is I couldn't have thought of anybody else that could have made. He was a huge part of the segment, even though he didn't say much. Just his
Mhm.
presence being there, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do 100% agree with that. I just wish that, damn, we had friggin' Jungle Boy do this weeks ago, because then I could have been more excited for it.
My only
Because when
question
Christian cut
is,
these promos and stuff, I was off my seat, jumping up and down, excited. And then when Jungle
yeah,
Boy cut that promo, literally,
yeah.
until what they did with JR.
My question is, what do you think happens after this? As far as like, do you think they're going to continue their feud? What, like, whose side do you think Luchasaurus is going to be on? Luchasaurus, if you notice, he still has that heel like entrance with the fire and the music or whatever. Do you think he's, making Jungle Boy think that he's on his side and he's going to end up, really siding with Christian?
You see here, this is for me. I think Tony Khan is not, this is going to be, a make or break situation. And I think that this is going to really test Jack Perry,
Yeah.
Jungle Boy with this. I think Tony Khan is going to make the booking decision that Luchasaurus does, screw Jungle Boy. Christian wins, because why else would there not be a, stipulation into this match? Like no
Yeah.
disqualification or something. Because this
I
is
know.
very intense. Christian talking about his dead father
Bro,
doesn't get doesn't get deeper than that.
you know what this reminds me of? Obviously, talking about, somebody's dead parent is, horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this almost reminds me of like, especially this past Monday, it reminds me of the Riddle and Seth Rollins situation to where like you have these guys really legitimately like they're building heat around this. You know what I mean? Like legitimate heat. And you're just gonna have them have just a regular standard wrestling match. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense at all. That's why I think Luchasaurus is going to help Christian win. And I think Christian does beat Jungle Boy. And I think that this is going to be, a lot of people are going to blame Tony Khan for, this horrible booking decision. Because I think a lot of people are going to be upset with the way that this is booked. But I think there's going to be some logic behind the scenes with it, because they want to see what Jungle Boy can really do.
I almost feel like just like how we feel like with the whole Ricky Stark situation, it's gonna be the same thing with Jungle Boy. It's gonna be almost like a redemption story. He gets beat now, but it's gonna take more than that to, keep him out of the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree with
So,
that.
I think Christian is definitely gonna win. Just because, he has such major heat. You know what I mean? Everybody's expecting him to lose. So I think if he wins, it'll give him more heat and he'll be able to fucking, use that as motivation or whatever, especially as the storyline continues or whatever he decides to do next. So,
I do agree with that. That's a pretty good take. But moving forward now to our next match on the card here, we have a 6-man tag match, because AEW loves doing those. Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal, Chris Sabin, and Alex Shelley, Motor City Machine Guns.
man, like I'm probably more excited for this match than I should be. For the simple fact that Motor City Machine Guns, they haven't worked. I haven't seen them work anywhere outside of TNA and Impact since 2006. You know what I mean? So I guess it'll be a breath of fresh air to actually see them compete somewhere else. Like being in a company for 15, 16 years, and I feel like fucking they hit their ceiling, in 2012. You know what I mean? I like how much more
Yeah.
can they really accomplish there? They need to get out and pretty much spread their wings and fly. So I am looking forward to seeing what they do with Jay Lethal. And I mean, bro, they're all, Impact and TNA originals, you know what I mean? They all have history together, so it makes sense that Motor City Machine Guns are teaming with Jay Lethal.
The only thing that doesn't
Um,
make sense is Motor City Machine Guns on Impact. They are faces. They are like top faces in Impact, so I don't know why they would pair up with Jay Lethal as a heel. I
have you
know
ever,
that
have you
there's history and there's a good friendship there, but this match, as much as I love the Motor City Machine Guns, this was another throw match.
I'm not excited for the match. I'm excited to see them, though, if that makes sense.
That's exactly where I'm at with this, because I'm sorry, I love Jay Lethal, and I thought Sanjay Dutt was going to do some stuff for him. I friggin' just want him to shove that pencil up his ass and stay backstage and do his friggin' producing role. And the other
Put the
guy,
pen,
he needs to just dribble a basketball. Leave the
put it,
wrestling business.
put the pencil up his ass and bounce like a pogo stick.
You know, the big guy there, he can dribble him with the pencil. That's
He should
perfect.
go to WWE. I mean, give Braun Strowman a run for his money.
or maybe maybe Pioneer Valley Wrestling next to us.
Yeah,
He I
he
think
can
anybody on the PvP roster that's in the Western Mass area can definitely outwork this Green Giant.
I would love to see him smash Alex Cypher, though.
I think Alex Cypher could even kick his ass.
And that's saying something because you fucking hate that fucking guy.
Anybody.
Yeah, but yeah,
He's the worst wrestler. Like, if they have like one of those Pro Wrestling Illustration like friggin' top 500 worst wrestlers,
mm-hmm.
Satnam Singh, that's I think his name, he would be
Yeah,
number one. I think Omos is better than him, and that's saying something because I call Omos the freaking Green Giant.
that's saying something, bro.
But here's the thing, I'm seriously not looking forward to this. I think I'm only looking forward to seeing the Motor City Machine Guns.
That's
I
where I'm
wish
at.
what they would have done here, it would have been Motor City Machine Guns versus FTR. Test
Have you ever,
FTR.
have you ever thought about maybe them making Jay Lethal feel like they are on his side or whatever, but they end up turning on him because Jay Lethal starts becoming like, guys, you do this,
Look,
becoming more trying to boss him around.
I get they have history, but we haven't even seen the Motor City Machine Guns.
Bro, I'm fucking trying here, man. I'm trying with the jaws of life.
This was
Obviously
horrible.
Wardlow and
Wardlow should be
FTR are gonna
defending the
win.
title. This is, I think, the second year that we have not gotten a TNT title match at All Out, which is pretty sad. Because every wrestling fan, I can't believe I'm sticking up for WWE on this, but every freaking wrestling fan wants to come at WWE for not having Intercontinental US title matches on pay-per-views, but then AEW doesn't have to have the TNT title on pay-per-views.
I will say, bro, up until recently, this is the first pay-per-view in almost 2 years that the IC title is being contested on the pay-per-view. I think the last time was WrestleMania
There's more value to
35 or
it.
36.
Both mid-card titles in WWE, I can't believe I'm saying this, they have more value than the TNT title right now.
They didn't for a long time though, bro.
For a
You
long
got you
time,
got
that
to
TNT
remember,
title was so prestigious.
it's almost
But
like a reverse
after
situation
Miro,
happened.
I feel like after Miro lost it, it wasn't Sammy Guevara's fault because I think Guevara did a good job being the champion. But like after the Cody Rhodes match with him and Scorpio Sky friggin', flipping the title like a friggin' playing patty cake, I think,
Yep.
is what really ruined the prestigious thing about that title.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
I was hoping Wardlow was gonna do more with the title, man. I really like
it's not even his fault though. It's
it's not
booking.
he had the world by the fucking balls, bro. And they're giving him like the Goldberg like treatment, bro. Like they're following him from his locker room all the way through the curtain, through Gorilla, like up the fucking the staging or whatever to go out to the ring. And they're having everybody chant Wardlow, just like Goldberg. Like they're giving them
That's
the
like
Goldberg
something
treatment.
That's the thing I don't really like about it because this man, he's great in the ring. He reminds me of a young Batista. And
Mhm.
literally, like the way he talks like Roman Reigns. He carries himself like a star. I love it. Welcome to Wardlow's world. I love that.
What happened to that fucking promo, bro, after he fucking won his AEW contract by beating the hell out of fucking MJF? What happened to that Wardlow, man? It's like his momentum, like it got built up and it just got fuck you, that's pretty much how I feel about the situation. But we both know, and everybody that's watching this right now knows, Wardlow and FTR are gonna win this match. And Wardlow's a TNT champion, and FTR, they're the AAA tag team champions. They're the Ring of Honor tag team champions. Like they have like solidified themselves as being like the top tier when it comes to tag teams in professional wrestling.
I just
So
feel
this,
so sorry for Jay Lethal. He's so talented.
I
Why
feel
does
bad.
he have to be with this other guy?
I feel bad for fucking Motor City Machine Guns, man. They get
And
called
I feel
in.
bad for them too. It's
We
sad.
saw we saw a hell of a match, man. I'm telling you. We went to a Northeast wrestling show a couple months ago, and we saw Malachi Black and Jay Lethal put on a fucking clinic, bro.
But it's crazy because like I was watching this interview on Chris Van Vliet's thing with
Yep.
Jeff Jarrett's wife, Karen.
Yep.
And like she even said like Jay Lethal, like he could be doing so much. He could be a star in the business.
Remember
It's crazy.
remember when he debuted in AEW and everybody was like, "Oh my god, Jay Lethal's here," you know, and they made him feel like he was like the fucking son of Christ. Like he was like he had the cure for fucking cancer. Everybody was built this guy up, rightfully so. But I don't think Tony
I was
Khan.
excited for Sanjay Dutt, but then when the other guy came in, it like lost all credibility.
I don't think Tony Khan really knew what to do with Jay Lethal. I feel like he signed.
Same with Impact Wrestling, same with
I
Ring of
I
Honor.
feel like I feel like Tony
Sad.
Khan was afraid that Jay Lethal was going to end up getting picked up by WWE, and he didn't want that competition. Even though I think WWE would have squashed his ass too.
Here's
at that
the
time.
thing. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I really do hope if Jay Lethal's contract expires, that Triple H signs him. Because that man's been busting his ass for over 20 years doing this. And I feel
Just
like he
don't bring
deserves the
Satnam Singh.
opportunity to wrestle at Mania.
Just don't bring Satnam Singh. Please
Well,
don't.
no.
We don't need
No.
another fucking giant on the fucking TV on Mondays and Fridays.
I don't think he's going anywhere after AEW.
That motherfucker.
He's going to struggle
man.
to get indie bookings. So,
Bro, he barely shows up on AEW.
We all know Wardlow FTR, they're going to win this match, and it's sadly not going to be exciting.
It's definitely not going to be a long match. That's for damn sure. I mean, you have
the crowd.
Wardlow.
I feel like this will be a match the crowd. Unfortunately, you know, they're not going to be going cuckoo like they would if, you know, the card was a little bit smaller. If if it wasn't a long night for the crowd, I think that, you know, this match, you know, would definitely be a match that the crowd would, you know, be invested in. But it's a long card, and out of the matches that we're getting, this is not one of them that's gonna, you know, make you jump off your seat, I feel like.
You want to know something, man?
That's because of booking, not because of the talent in the match.
You want to know a hot take? And this has nothing to do. I don't want people to think I'm talking shit about the talent. This has absolutely nothing to do with Jay Lethal, Motor City Machine Guns, you know, FTR, Wardlow. It has nothing to do with them. They're fucking fantastic. Their booking is shit. But I would have put this match on the pre-show, and I would have put Pac and Kip Sabian in their place.
Yep.
That's what I would have done.
I would have done that too. Or at least FTR versus Motor City Machine Guns. Put that on the card. They could have had Wardlow and Jay Lethal wrestle again on friggin' Rampage.
Yeah.
You
know what I'm thinking, bro? Oh wait, no, never mind. I was thinking about the wrong match. Because there is a match on here that was supposed to be on the show, but it's gonna be on Rampage tonight,
So moving forward now, guys, to our next match of, you know, this card. I'm sorry that we go on and on about the matches that don't really matter as much. You know, Danny and I, we got strong opinions with our pay-per-view predictions. Like we said earlier in, you know, the video, we really like to analyze and really give you guys our thoughts on the storyline process of the match itself, what we think is going to happen. We really want to get into details about the pay-per-view, not just say, okay, we think they're going to win next match.
Even if the matches aren't necessarily good, the talent deserves the time. You know what I mean? We like to talk about, you know, all the storylines or whatever leading up to this moment because it's such a big moment. It's such a big show for a lot of people. Sadly, the booking though has just not been there, man. And that's coming from me. I will admit it, bro. I had my lips glued to TK's ass for a little while there. And like I still really enjoy the product. I still really enjoy what he's doing. I feel like especially over the last 4 weeks since Triple H did take over creative for WWE, I feel like Tony Khan has lost motivation because he doesn't feel like he's number one anymore. And like I technically he wasn't number one when Vince was there either, but he still had the better show. It's not like that anymore, and I feel like TK is sort of
It's a
losing a little
simple thing
motivation.
that they gotta do, Danny. They need to stop this Forbidden Door shit and focus on AEW. This is why this all-out pay-per-view, unfortunately, I'm looking forward to the Clash at the Castle a little bit more than I am for All Out because of the way that AEW has not been focusing on AEW. They've been focusing on the New Japan stuff a little too much. They should have
Mhm.
stopped that after Forbidden Door.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be
I
a
definitely,
special.
I definitely agree. But what
So
are you
moving
gonna do?
forward to our next match of the night. This is for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill defends the title against Athena.
I'm actually looking forward to this match. Surprisingly, I like Athena, and I like the heel run that Jade Cargill has. Like she was green as fuck, bro. When I first saw her last year, and you can tell this woman like still not the greatest. She still has a long ways to
She
go.
put the work
But
in, though.
for somebody that's never done this besides AEW before, like you can definitely tell how much she improves. And I feel like this should, solidify like, whether a performer actually wants to do this because they love it and the passion for it, or if they just want to get a paycheck every week. You know what I mean? You can
Mhm.
definitely tell she really loves this business, and I mean, hey, as a fan, I fucking appreciate that, man.
Hey,
Because
even seeing her daughter, like, look up to her mom like she does, and seeing her hold that championship and the way she presents herself, absolutely beautiful.
she presents herself like a fucking superstar, bro. And like Athena the same way. Athena is fucking fantastic. She got fucked over majorly by WWE though. I will say that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But we
This
both know
match here,
how.
I will say this, I'm looking forward to this because Athena's got the experience in the ring. This will not be a situation like it was last time with Anna Jay and Jade Cargill. I believe that was at
Mhm.
Double or Nothing. This will not be a situation where it's two inexperienced people in the ring because
Yeah.
now at least Jade Cargill's got a very experienced vet in that ring with Athena. And I think that
Yeah.
that's going to be one of her best matches. And I think Athena is going to win the TBS championship and
If
the streak
anything,
will
bro,
end.
if anything, bro, it's gonna be, Jade's gonna be in there with, let's face it, Athena at this point, bro, she's a veteran. You know what I mean? She's been in this business since what, 2013, 2014. That's a long fucking time, bro. We're almost in 2023. That's almost 10 years. Like she's a veteran at this point, you know what I mean? So I do feel like her being in this match in this program with Jade Cargill, it's regardless of the outcome, it's only gonna make Jade better. You know what I mean?
Mhm. And that's
That's
the
the way it
thing.
should work.
I feel like with Athena winning, Jade Cargill, she's going to focus on another program because I think, we're obviously noticing Malcolm Bivens. He's doing this new thing now. And I think Jade Cargill is going to be probably on her own moving forward. And I could definitely see her actually maybe, down the line going for the AEW Women's World title.
Could you see her maybe, shedding this heel like manner and becoming like a baby face at all? Or would
I
you
could
stick
see
her
that.
would you keep her as a heel or baby face?
I think they're going to try that, but they're going to keep the same attitude. And the crowd,
Mhm.
is just going to get, over with it against, but they need to have that villain, women's
Yeah.
wrestler. I think a great feud would be Serena Deeb and Jade
Ooh,
Cargill. That would be pretty
that
good, I think.
that I could definitely see that. Yeah,
Or
like
even, Marina Shafir.
you
That's
can't
another one, too.
Marina Shafir, I don't know about that, bro. Like you need to put in order for Jade, I feel like in order for her to get better, Like, there's only so much training you can do, but you have to put her in there with people that are fucking experienced. That
I
way
do agree.
she can learn hands on like certain things or whatever. Because I definitely feel like Jade is on her way, but she hasn't quite gotten there yet. But she is. You can
Mhm.
definitely tell she puts in a lot of fucking work.
This will be the first roadblock for her, and I do think that we are going to get a new champion.
It's a possibility, man.
What do you think?
Would I end the streak right now? I feel like Jade Cargill has just been on the hot streak, but I don't know. I don't want it to become a Roman Reigns situation because I feel like if she keeps winning and her winning streak keeps, going up and up and up and up and up, I feel like people will get so used to that, and regardless of who you get to beat her, there's always going to be people that are disappointed about it because,
Mhm.
like, oh, what, let's say, she beat the hell out of Britt Baker, but she, loses the title to like Athena or somebody else. You know what I mean? There's always going to be that doubt. Just
Yeah.
like Roman Reigns, I feel like, it doesn't matter who you get to beat him, bro. There's gonna be people that are fucking gonna be disappointed about the outcome because it's gonna be like, bro, what? We fucking had 2 years of build for this? What are you talking? You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I don't want that same kind of situation to happen with Jade. Um, but I would like for Athena to be TBS champion, but she hasn't also been in the company that long. Even though she's a
Mhm.
veteran, do you think she's earned that right yet? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but she is one of, the biggest opponents for Jade Cargill. And I think, Jade Cargill has had a great run with the title. And I think, unfortunately, just like how Britt Baker was the champ and it came to an end, I think that
Yeah.
this is the time to finally put it to an end and really see what she can do without a championship. And maybe, we see if she can get over. And if she can, we got ourselves a friggin' perfect world champion in a couple years. We'll have to
Yeah.
see.
We're gonna have to wait and see, man. By the way, we still have a couple matches left, but everybody watching this video right now, make sure you guys leave us your predictions below because obviously everybody's gonna have differing opinions. I want to know what you guys have to say about this.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you guys agree with what me and Donnie are saying? Do you guys agree with our picks? Who do you guys want to see win each of these matches, man? Let us know.
Exactly, because the thing is, Danny and I on our, personal channels, we will respond to your guys' opinions and stuff because we really go into like depth
Just don't
about
be an
these matches
asshole.
and stuff. And we really, want to hear what you guys have to say because we are wrestling maniacs. You're tuning into
Yeah.
this long predictions video knowing that we are going to give you guys the full details. So, our next match for All Out, we have the ladder match, the casino ladder match for a shot at the AEW World Championship. We have Claudio versus Ray Phoenix versus Rush versus Dante Martin versus Andrade versus Penta versus Wheeler Yuta and a mystery, a Joker.
I think that Joker,
I think the Joker, you want to go first or me?
Sammy Guevara,
Ooh, okay. You think that's going to be Sammy
because
Guevara?
with all this heat that this backstage heat or whatever that's been going on between um Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara, Sammy talking shit about uh Eddie's weight and Eddie actually like legitimately taking a swing at him and legitimately getting suspended for a couple of weeks. Why would he be on the show and Sammy Guevara is nowhere to be seen? Bro, it's gonna be Sammy Guevara. I have a strong feeling. I could be wrong. I don't have any inside like sources or anything like that. I could be wrong, but why would they have Eddie Kingston on the show, whether it's pre-show or not, and not have Sammy Guevara on the show? It has to be Sammy Guevara.
So here's my thoughts about that. So my Joker, I think, is going to be the return of Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole is medically cleared. He is going to come back because in a recent thing, Tony Khan did say that after All Out, this is going to be one of the strongest rosters we got because, the important people are all going to be 100%. And I know Meltzer said, well, if you're saying that, then MJF's got to be coming back. But I feel like Tony Khan, when he said that, wasn't thinking about MJF. I feel like, he was definitely thinking about Adam Cole.
Don't forget, bro, they have that big show coming up later this month at Ray Ash Stadium in Queens, New York. I'm not fucking, saying it's a definite, but there
I'm
could be
hoping
some.
MJF comes back on this show, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not going to believe it probably until I see him, just because I
I'll tell
miss
you what,
MJF.
I will believe it more if CM Punk ends up winning the title, because
Okay.
it makes sense for MJF to beat Punk for the title because of the feud that they had.
So now getting into this ladder match, here's my thoughts about this ladder match. Normally for these casino battle royals and ladder matches, I am
Yeah.
very excited for these matches. But this was literally last minute booking. I feel like they threw all these guys on the card so that nobody was upset they're not on the big pay-per-view. And I'm a little disappointed that there was not qualifying matches for this ladder match because it would have
Yeah.
made it a little bit more prestigious. I wish that, with this ladder match, we actually had some builds to it. Not just, okay, we're just throwing these 10 guys on here. Have fun.
It's gonna be interesting to see if Claudio and Wheeler Yuta have to square off, especially seeing as they're two key members of the Blackpool Combat Club.
Mm-hmm.
So
So in this match, here's who I think is going to win Adam Cole. I think Adam
I
Cole is going to be the next one in line for the title shot.
I think it's gonna be Sammy Guevara, but I don't think Sammy Guevara is gonna win.
Mm-hmm. I don't see Adam Cole winning the title. I don't see that happening, but I do definitely see Adam Cole probably being the guy in here because I'm looking at all these guys and I don't see world championship, like AEW world champion to me.
I will say, when I saw Death Before Dishonor last month, Rouge Face's brother, and that was a fucking barn burner, bro. I recommend you watch that match, because then you'll be like, okay, man, like he doesn't
Well,
really
Roosh is
showcase it.
good.
He doesn't really showcase it that much
I've seen
on
a lot of his work with Ring of
AEW.
Honor.
Yeah, and obviously, I think you saw him against Moxley at the Worcester Dynamite that you went to. That was a fucking great match. I watched that match in the grocery store, and I swear I heard old ladies being like, "What the hell is he watching?" You know.
I don't know. I feel like the Joker, whoever it is going to win. I feel like the best scenario is MJF being the mystery guy and getting the win for the title because then we can finally get MJF as world champion.
I don't see MJF coming back, especially coming back in a fucking ladder match. I mean, he
I know,
fucking was
I
he.
know it's too good to be true. I know.
Not
That's
that
why
it's
I
too
think
good to
it's,
be
I don't think
true, but
it's
I
way too
just
good to
like
be true.
I don't see MJF, having this little spat in the middle of the ring. Fire Tony, fire me. I want you to fire me, you fucking Mark, and all this stuff. To have him come back in a fucking random ass ladder match that got thrown together.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
just
see that
saying
happening.
what I'm saying is they could throw a swerve. Like I don't think Tony Khan would do this, but they could have like Dante Martin or something climbing up the ladder, and then MJF freaking comes out, throws him off the ladder, grabs the contract, and then on Dynamite he could be like, "Well, I got the freaking thing. I'm the number one contender."
I don't think whoever it is, I don't think they're gonna win. I think it's
I
gonna be
agree.
Sammy Guevara. You think it's gonna be Adam Cole. Um, you know, uh,
We'll have to wait and see.
if he wasn't the ROH champion, I would have said I would have picked Claudio. Just because
Oh,
I mean,
definitely, hands down.
he's championship material. But if he did win this match and he did end up winning the AEW title, what would happen if he was the AEW and the ROH champion? Like, they're trying to. Tony Khan needs to start sort of separating the two,
Get a TV deal.
or fucking put your shit. You fucking take Dark and shit off, and fucking put fucking Ring of Honor on fucking YouTube, bro.
Wait,
I
what
would
if it could
watch
be
that.
what? Yeah, what if it's Samoa Joe?
That could be another option.
I can see that
So
happening.
so far
Wait,
we have
no, yeah, okay, I'm changing it. It's not Adam Cole. Samoa Joe's gonna be friggin' in there. Samoa Joe's gonna win. CM Punk beats Moxley for the title. Joe versus Punk.
yeah, but
Come on, they got Ace
Joe,
Steel. They got
yeah,
Ace
but Joe,
Steel. He's got
yeah, but
history with them.
yeah, but Joe wouldn't win. I
I
feel
don't.
like that would be a waste. I don't think if Punk wins the
It's
title, I don't think
possible.
he should. I don't think he should lose until MJF comes back. It only
Oh, I
makes
agree.
sense for him to lose the title, to drop the title to MJF, bro. There's nobody in the wrestling business right now that's more over, I feel like, than MJF because he made just like what I was saying about Eddie Kingston earlier, bro. He makes you like legitimately feel like you have legitimate heat with this fucking guy. You know,
Oh, I
he
want
talks
MJF
about
to be the next
like
champion.
exactly if Samoa Joe made this big return or whatever, Twisted Metal, the TV show, based on that PlayStation game or whatever, they wrapped filming last week, so he is free as far as I know. I haven't checked any of his social media to get any insight to see if like what his plans are, see if like he posted a picture at like maybe an airport or anything like that. Um, but I don't see Joe coming back, entering in a ladder match, and then winning. Obviously, that'd be a good move, but then he would lose to CM Punk.
I don't know. We'll definitely have to wait and see on that.
I still
But
gotta go with Sammy Guevara because it just
the Joker's
especially with
winning.
all the heat that you know him and Eddie Kingston have, and Eddie Kingston getting suspended because he legitimately tried to put his hands like not like in a work way on Sammy Guevara,
I
and
did
yet
hear
Tony.
they did shake hands backstage and they're good now.
I understand that, and that's all fine and good, but he's still Eddie Kingston, and I don't doesn't excuse Sammy Guevara either. He shouldn't be talking shit about people. But Eddie Kingston legitimately like tried to throw a punch at him, and
Mhm.
TK just randomly awards him with a spot on the show, but Sammy Guevara is nowhere to be seen. It just doesn't add up
Mhm.
to me. I think it's
Hey,
gonna be
we'll have
Sammy
to wait
Guevara,
and
bro.
see.
Like,
But moving forward now to our next match, we have the AEW World Trio Championships, the finals. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, the Elite, versus to be announced on Rampage, which means it's going to be either Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Chuck and Trent, or it's going to be Hangman and the Dark Order. I think it's going to be Hangman and the Dark Order that win on Rampage because they want to, show the history there with Hangman and, you know, Dark
yeah,
Order. But here's what I think is going to happen, though.
I don't think
I think,
Dark Order is definitely not gonna win the titles though.
nope, they're going to go to the finals, and what's going to happen? I think Hangman's going to reunite with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks at the end.
There's that
And they're
possibility
gonna they're
too.
gonna come back together because they've been building this for such a long time, and it seems like the Elite now are being faces a little bit. So I could
Yeah.
definitely see that happening. I do think that they will be the first trio champions, though. It will be the Elite.
But I feel like I've been saying this for months, and I have not left my standing on it. Like, obviously we met Evil Uno, coolest dude on the fucking planet, very chill guy to hang out with. But I don't feel like Dark Order has been able to recover since Brody Lee. You know what I mean? I
It's
feel like that
sad.
damaged them a lot. You know what I mean? Does it damage them to still be in AEW? But like they don't do anything, bro. Why would you want to waste your time working for a company if they don't have anything creative for you to do? Regardless if it's a paycheck. If you fucking love this business, bro. Like why not? There's so many other places to explore, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just crazy to me because, like, number 10 from Dark Order, I feel like he has lots of potential. Alex Reynolds, he's got potential. John Silver's got huge potential. And Evil Uno obviously has potential. That's why,
They
like, they
they
really
definitely
need to just break up Dark Order and move forward.
they do. They all have potential, bro. But this whole Dark Order gimmick is not helping. Part of me feels like it's for Brody's kid, though. You
Mhm.
know, -10 or what is
Negative
-1 or
one.
-1. Um, if they broke up Dark Order, what would he do? And I feel
Mhm.
like he's not overexposed. But I feel like,
Yeah, but they could do a
whatever.
segment with him breaking up the Dark Order, and then when he gets old enough to wrestle, then maybe down the line they could do something. You never know. But
It's a
right now, they need
possibility,
to think
man. But
about right now. And right now, it's not, unfortunately, doing anything for anybody.
and I've been saying, I like go back, to February when I started doing the talk show with Donnie. Like, my standing on this has not fucking changed one bit. I
Mhm.
don't
It
think. I
makes
think we
more
did a.
sense now than it
I think.
did.
I think we did an entire episode on stables or whatever that we feel like should be together and not be together. And I
Mhm.
think we both agreed that Dark
AEW
Order needs to disband.
factions. I
Yeah,
do
we.
remember that. Wow, that's an old
That,
episode.
yeah, bro. We hit number
Damn,
30
going back
soon,
into
man. That's gonna
time.
be nuts. But yeah, the Dark Order, bro. Like they definitely
So you
they need
obviously
to do
got you
something.
obviously got Kenny Omega and Young Bucks winning regardless.
It's not even a competition, bro.
All right. Our next match for All Out is for the AEW Tag Team Championships. We're just going to say, because I know, Danny, you think that this is on Rampage,
I heard
but
somewhere, obviously, everybody's
I've
gonna
seen
know
it
by
on
the time
All
this
Out.
airs.
So, like, I'm just going to go by what I've seen. So,
Yeah.
for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, we have Swerve in My Glory defending the titles against the Acclaimed.
I feel like my prediction. I think Swerve and Our Glory is gonna win. They're gonna retain the titles. I for whatever reason, even though they're not overexposed on TV, which I guess is a good thing in a way. The titles look good on them. You know what I mean? The Acclaimed, with everything that's going on with them and Billy and the Scissor Me, and they're over as fuck. I don't necessarily. I would like for them to be champions at some point, but I don't think it needs to be right now. I think they're over as fuck without the titles. You know what I mean? I feel like they're doing good stuff. They're showcased on TV more than the fucking champions are. So
Look,
I don't necessarily know if you need to put the titles on them.
I'm going to be biased here because Max Caster, the one half of the Acclaimed, he does a lot of stuff in our area with, our partners, Blitzkrieg Pro. And I've,
Hmm.
watched him grown just like MJF and Smart Mark Sterling and Chris
Yeah.
Statlainer, all those phenomenal talents at Creative Pro. And maybe it's me being biased because I've seen Max Caster grow into this big superstar.
Hmm.
I really want to see the Acclaimed win the tag team championships because one, it would swerve the entire crowd because everybody probably going into the show is just like you. Oh, Swerve in Our Glory, they're going to freaking win this match easily, hands down. But the
Yeah.
Acclaimed, it would give us something new with the tag belts, which would be a little exciting. And especially with this whole Malcolm Bivens thing going on where he's recruiting all these freaking people. I think at the end of this match, we're going to definitely see all those guys come out and attack all four guys
Yeah.
in some
Like,
way. Something's going to
if
happen.
Swerve and Our Glory dropped the tag titles to the Acclaimed, I wouldn't be upset about it. I'm just saying, with how over the Acclaimed are without the titles, like, it just shows they don't need
I
titles
just
to be
want
over
Max
with the
Caster
crowd.
to have that moment
I
and
would I
Bowen.
want that too. We've grown to actually know him outside of what we see on TV, because we like you said, we go to a lot of the Blitzkrieg shows. Is that we sponsor a lot of the matches. Um,
Mhm.
so we got to know him on some sort of level that not a lot of people do get to know him as. I just don't like, I want them to be the champions when it's right. And
But
they're
right now,
over
they're
as
hotter than ever. The time is
exactly,
right.
but they're over as fuck, bro. I'm afraid if they become the champions, they're AEW is gonna have not much creative ideas going forward with them, and I feel like it'll hinder their growth a little bit.
See, here's the thing. Sadly, like Swerve and My Glory, they are gonna retain the titles. I don't see them losing to the Acclaimed.
Yeah,
I just don't see that happening. But I do
maybe at
know
Full
at the
Gear,
end of this
maybe
match,
have more of a build. Full Gear, bro. That's their next big show. Have them, this doesn't have to be just like the one and done match. They can build off of this. You know what I mean?
but
I would love for the Acclaim to be champions. I
I
just
think
don't
what's
think they need it
going
right now.
I think what's going to happen definitely after this match, Malcolm Bivens, they're all going to come out, the guys that he's recruited, and they are all going to, have a big beat down on Billy Gunn, the Acclaimed, and Swerve in My Glory.
By the way, this just coincide with this whole Malcolm Bivens talk or whatever. We haven't really gotten a chance to discuss it even off the talk show. What do you think is actually like going on with him recruiting all these guys? You know
I
what I mean?
like it. It's
I like it
interesting.
too. There was so much rumblings. Oh, Enzo and Cass might be going back to WWE. Triple H is the head of creative, and W. Morrissey was like, "Fuck you, bitch. I'm going here. I'm gonna be with
I love
I'm
the
gonna be with
recruiting
Malcolm."
process of what he's doing. They so far got Ethan Page, Lee Moriarty. They got Big Cass, which I can't pronounce his new name.
W.
Then they're
Morrissey.
Yeah, Morrissey. Then they got Gun Club, Ass Boys in the group as well, and Ethan
Yeah.
Page. This is looking like a pretty solid faction, but I want to see what they're going to do. I think having Malcolm Bivens there is definitely going to do wonders for all these guys in the group. It
I
ain't going to
think they need
be
to.
like it's not going to be a joke.
I think they need to add Danhausen.
No.
That that comedic relief.
No, we need to keep this serious, this group. All right, we get comedy with Jericho Appreciation Society. I would not
Yeah,
mind next feud for Jericho being with Danhausen though, but I'm not going to get into that on here.
that'd be hilarious, bro. That we can save that for a future talk show episode.
Yeah, so I think, Swerve in My Glory is going to win. The new
Yeah.
faction, they're going to make a statement, and Malcolm is going to announce the group name, or he's going to wait for Dynamite to announce the name, but they give, a crazy beatdown.
Yeah, I definitely think that's gonna happen. We're right in the ballpark, bro.
Oh, yeah, we are. That's why, you guys got to hit that subscribe button. But now we got a couple more matches here to talk about. We're going to try to shoot these out. We have the interim AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter versus Sheeta versus Britt Baker. Fatal 4-way. I hate the interim championship thing. I feel like friggin' Thunder Rosa, they should have just had her wrestle injured against Toni Storm, because Toni Storm, we all knew were going to take the title off of her.
Yep.
And they just done it that way. But no, we have to get this stupid fucking interim championship match. And I am not looking forward to this whatsoever. This is another throw on match.
I think it's
And
gonna be Jamie
somehow
Hayter.
Toni Storm's winning.
I think it's gonna be Jamie Hayter.
I hope. I would
I
love
think it's
that.
I think it's gonna be Jamie Hayter, and it's gonna cause her and Britt Baker to feud. And Jamie Hayter will finally be able to
Ooh.
go off on her own and showcase what she's really capable of. I see what she's capable of in the ring, and I feel like she puts in a little bit more work than Britt Baker does, because she's almost like Britt Baker's henchwoman or whatever. She does Britt Baker's
Mhm.
dirty work, so to speak.
I would
So
not mind that at all, but for me, I don't see Jamie Hayter yet as a world champion. If anything,
I don't
I
see
could
Tony
definitely see
Storm
her being a
either.
future TBS champion.
I don't see Tony Storm being the champion either, because she's only
Oh,
been in the company since what, March, February?
come on, Danny. They're making this obvious here. Just like John Moxley when he won the interim championship. It's going to be
Moxie
Tony
has been
Storm,
in
and
since the
then
first fucking show.
it's going to be, yeah, but it's going to be Tony Storm, and
And
she's going to wrestle Thunder Rosa, and then Tony Storm's going to beat her.
I think it's gonna be Jamie Hayter, bro. I just
Tony
you
Khan's not
know
thinking smart, all right? Not with
I
it, not with all these
I
matches going
see
on.
I see what Jamie Hayter's capable of,
I
and
want out of all four of these women, I'm going to be honest, That's who I would want to win, Jamie
Yeah.
Hayter. But I think realistically, it's going to be Tony Storm. Because Tony Khan's not thinking, ahead with, this, Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker thing.
They want Thunderstorm to wrestle each other for the AEW women's title.
Sounds like some WCW shit. Moving
I
forward
know.
now to our next match. Before the main event, we have Bryan Danielson versus Lionheart Chris Jericho.
Bro, this is like one of the most intense storylines on TV outside of the Punk and Moxley situation, because
It's been
we
carrying
have
TV.
Daniel Garcia, who's a huge name in the Jericho Appreciation Society, and he's gonna be he's gonna be
Baby face.
I mean,
You're a wrestler.
he stopped Jericho from wrapping a steel chair around Danielson's head on Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like, if he
This is
didn't
perfect
have
timing.
like you were there when Danielson got a victory over Bryan Danielson. Like, what was that moment like? Like, that was like, I know how I felt watching it on TV.
Shocked. I was shocked and I loved it. I
And he didn't just
love
beat him,
Daniel
bro. He
Garcia.
knocked him the fuck out. Like,
Dude,
he was
Daniel
out.
Garcia, I'm sorry, but Garcia is that dude. A lot of these old school wrestling podcasts, they'll go on and say, oh, this guy's just a generic freaking wrestler that has submissions. Ooh, whoopee. There's a lot more to Daniel Garcia that you really have to, really look into. I think Daniel Garcia, man, he is going to be a big name in professional wrestling for the next 10 years.
You know who
He
was an
has such
ordinary
a bright future.
You know who was an ordinary wrestler before? Triple H. Eddie
Bryan
Guerrero.
Danielson. He's
Bryan
pretty much
Danielson.
he's pretty much a
Seth
younger version of
Rollins.
Bryan Danielson.
Roman Reigns, bro. It doesn't get any more generic than what he used to be like.
I'm not going to count Roman Reigns, though.
I
want to
don't
count
feel
guys
like,
that are, his build, like Bryan Danielson and CM Punk.
yes, but I don't feel like people see the bigger picture. I see people like, oh, they see him on TV 1 week and they judge him, for the rest of his career or whatever. They don't see the possibilities that, could be surrounding this whole situation.
He's good.
Exactly. And
He's
he's going to
really
be turning
good.
he's going to be siding with Bryan Danielson because he's, Bryan Danielson is his idol. It's, he's somebody that he grew up watching. He idolizes the fucking guy.
I
Why
think
else
he's
would
going
he
to win the
turn?
beer title, on Wednesday against Yuta. I do see that happening.
But do you see Daniel Garcia possibly joining the Blackpool Combat Club?
Yep, because this time around, when Garcia wins the title, him and Yuta, they're going to shake hands, and they're going to have some blood on them. It's going to be beautiful.
Yes, man.
But with
as
this
far as
match
this
now with
match,
Bryan Danielson and Chris Jericho, I think that this is going to be Jericho's best match in AEW, I think. And I think the winner of this match, this can go either way, it's going to be Bryan Danielson.
I think it's going to be Bryan too, because I feel like Jericho's going to try and do something shady. And again, we're going to get Garcia coming out and, righting all the wrongs that Jericho's trying to do. You know what I mean?
No, how about this? What if Jericho cheats? He beats, Danielson, but then Garcia comes out and has another referee with him, and then they show the replay, and then the referee restarts the match. That would be pretty interesting.
The thing is, I don't see Garcia leaving the Jericho Appreciation Society right now. I like where this is going, and they're slowly building it over time. And I feel like it's gonna have a bigger payoff if they wait a little bit. I don't want to see it happen right away. You know what I mean?
Here's what I'm hoping. I agree with you on that, because here's what I want. Going into Full Gear, that's where I would like to see Jericho versus Garcia. Let Garcia get that moment at Full Gear. That would be perfect. But I got to go with Danielson on this match here.
I do too, because I feel like he's been getting one over on Jericho a lot. And I don't see Jericho having that kind of momentum to where he can get one over on Danielson. I do feel like he's gonna try and cheat and try and do some shady shit. Maybe the referee gets knocked out and Garcia ends up getting involved or whatever, and it's gonna continue and escalate the storyline even
Yeah.
further over the next coming months until full gear. So that's what I
No,
think is gonna happen.
I definitely agree with that. I think, what's going to happen here moving forward, I think it's going to be a better payoff for Garcia because I can't see him joining the Blackpool Combat Club at All Out
Yep.
because he's going against Yuta on Wednesday for the
Yep.
pure title.
Yeah, I wouldn't have him join the Blackpool Combat Club and then a couple days later having to face, one of the
Here's
members or
also
whatever.
why. I compare this situation with Garcia to a young Randy Orton with Evolution. They had Randy
Yep.
Orton leave Evolution too soon. He won the world title and they turned on him for that. But as a babyface, Randy Orton didn't do anything for anybody. It was
Yep.
horrible. Why do you think at WrestleMania 21 he went back to being a heel?
Yep.
I think that this is very similar here with Garcia, and they have to be careful with what they do. I hope that he doesn't join right away, but something's going to happen.
Something big is gonna happen, bro, and I can't wait to find out. But I'm with you, man. I definitely
All right,
think
I think it's
Brian
time.
Danielson Brian Danielson is
It's
gonna win.
time for the main event
The main
for
event, let's
All
go,
Out.
bro. Let's
We
go.
got it for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley will be defending his championship against CM Punk.
CM Punk, man, Mr. Shattered My Foot jumping into the crowd is finally back. He lost to Jon Moxley on Wednesday of last week. This week, he finally signed the contract to get the main event. Is going to be CM Punk versus
We
Jon
were
Moxley.
we were talking about this a lot through in our group chat, the We Are Wrestling chat, and I want you to kind of talk about like your logic about the whole CM Punk thing because like what you did say to me earlier did make sense.
I feel like everybody knows CM Punk is good. He's good to go. He's had doctor's appointments or whatever, and doctors have cleared him. But I feel like after coming back from an injury, no matter what it is, any kind of like broken bone or whatever, you have that mentality in your mind like, am I really okay to be doing this? One slip up, like something worse could happen. You know what I mean? Just like I said in the analogy earlier, it's like having an intense game of basketball or whatever with your friend, crossing them up, whatever, you misplant your foot and you just shatter your fucking ankle, right? Once you get cleared and okay by the doctor, are you immediately gonna be going back trying that move again, knowing the risks? I feel
Mhm.
like it's all like mental. He knows in his heart that he's good to go, but I feel like just mentally he thought something worse was gonna happen, and it just started to mentally fuck with him.
Mhm. You see here, that logic makes a lot of sense and probably what they're trying to do. Definitely what they're trying to do because they wouldn't have done it any other way. But my opinion about the whole thing, if there is a mental factor with his foot, why did this man sign the contract and ran? Like he literally ran, sprinted up the freaking stairs in the crowd.
Because he knows in his heart, he knows that he's good to go. He's cleared. His foot is fucking good. He is good to go. But in that moment, that was his first match back since the incident. He mentally he was like, should I really be doing this? You know what I mean? You saw that stiff kick right to the head. He immediately went right for his foot. It was mentally fucking with him like, oh my god, I like may feel a little bit of pain. Obviously, you're gonna feel it regardless. If you kick somebody, you're gonna feel it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it just starts to mentally fuck with you, especially after having to go. We heard on Wednesday, man. He had like 16 screws and plates put in his fucking in his foot. I mean, that's not a little sprained ankle, bro. That's something serious. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You see here what I think about the whole situation here. when CM Punk made the return, I felt like a little kid at the candy shop. I was excited because they had that big match feel to it when they both looked opposite sides of, the crowd. It
Yeah.
had that similarity to like Rock and Hulk Hogan. That
Yeah.
moment, that's how I felt because I've been a day one AEW fan. So,
Oh,
for these day one, the diehard AEW fans out there, that was a moment right there. And then, the build, having them going at it with each other throughout the night, that was freaking awesome. And then they do this match on free television. That's the part for me that just ruins it. I know they're trying to tell a very deep story here, but for me, having a Jon Moxley versus CM Punk match, that needs to be like a one-off. Maybe CM Punk should have went against a guy from Blackpool Combat Club and did the whole foot thing, because then maybe going into the match, you could have had him, mentally unprepared. Jon Moxley in his promo could have been going off on him saying, you couldn't even beat Yuta, you know? And it could have, definitely CM Punk could have considered leaving. Ace could have came out, still did what he did. And then, all out Punk versus Mox, it still could have been that once in a lifetime match. And that is what got taken away. And that is why the AEW fans and a lot of the wrestling fans are not as excited as they once were, because going into this build, it felt like a big moment.
yeah. You just gotta. I definitely understand where you're coming from. You just gotta look at the bigger picture and look at the kind of story that they're trying to tell. You know what I mean? I
But
feel
that
like it's
didn't
gonna.
need to be told, though. Not
It
with Mox
it
and CM
necessarily
Punk on free
doesn't.
television.
But bro, both these dudes have been in this business a very long time. If they thought it was a bad idea, they wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? They both have over 30, 40
Oh,
years put
when CM
together.
Punk called that fan fat on Wednesday?
It was because he something
He
about
called, he
Colt
chanted
Cabana.
Colt Cabana.
I've 16 screws in my ankle. That's
Ace
more
Steel. Ace Steel, that's Colt Cabana's replacement.
yeah. But you just gotta look at the story they're trying to tell, bro. If it was gonna hinder them in any way, or hinder their creativity, or hinder the match, I'm pretty sure Moxley and Punk wouldn't have been okay with it. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
the thing, though. I'm
I have trust
sorry.
in I have
It
trust in both these
shouldn't have
guys.
been on free television.
Hey, I feel like that was a rating spike, to be honest with you. But as far as like what happened, I feel like that was a part of the story. But them like
Oh,
originally
it's
adding
definitely
it,
part of the story.
it was Moxley. It wasn't even Punk that wanted the match on Dynamite. It was Moxley.
Of course it was.
So you just gotta look at the bigger picture, man. See where they're going from here.
I would have loved the once in a lifetime match if they did that. Kind of like similar when CM Punk came back
Yeah,
after, leaving WWE with the title, and then Cena, was the interim champion. Punk makes that return. They had it as such a big field for SummerSlam. That's
yeah,
how they should have done it with Punk and Mox. I know they're trying to tell a different story. They're trying something different, but it didn't need to happen. They overanalyzed it, in my opinion. But don't get me
yeah.
wrong, this match I'm looking forward to. This match is going to be way better than the first one. But who do you think
Obvious.
is going to win?
I would be okay if Moxley won. You know, just because I'm a Moxley guy, dude. I fucking love him. You know, yeah, he's like the new age Stone Cold Steve Austin. If I were to have to put him in any set category, he just doesn't give a fuck, bro. He goes out there, whips ass, and fucking just gets out of dodge. You know what I mean? He doesn't really stick
Mhm.
around. And that's what he's just like an ordinary guy. You know, just like Stone Cold was back in the day. You know what I mean? I mean, what person back in the day didn't, you know, fantasize about, punching their boss in the face, or beating the hell out of their boss? Like Stone Cold was just, your ordinary guy that had
Yeah.
this really cool fucking job.
The
I
I
feel
don't
like
give a fuck
Moxley's
attitude.
I feel like Moxley's the same exact fucking way.
Mhm.
Um, but I wouldn't be upset if Punk won either, because I know that would sort of solidify MJF's return, and MJF and Punk, they'll be able to, restart their
Oh,
feud
the
or
stare
whatever.
down. That would be lovely. if they did
And
that.
I feel like if that does happen, I feel like Punk will uh, drop the title to MJF, because the night that MJF did the pipe bomb, Punk came out, and that was supposed to reignite the feud or whatever. That was like
Yeah, and
staged or
originally he was
whatever.
supposed to come back at All Out.
But Punk got injured, and that pretty much put a fucking halt to everything.
Hmm.
Um, so if Punk wins, that's my mind's gonna go to, okay. So it's only a matter of time before we get MJF back. I'm looking forward to it.
You know something?
This is one of the
I
matches though I can't really like, I don't want to give a prediction because I would be okay if either one of these guys won. And I can't say
Mhm.
that for every single match on this fucking card.
As long as it furthers the product, the AEW product, for me, that's all I care about.
Hmm.
For me, the only way I'll be happy if CM Punk wins is if MJF does come back, because I think
Yeah.
having that stare down would be perfect. Like, what if MJF, comes out from the crowd or something? We get that stare down with him and Punk, and then, we build that match for Full Gear. And
They're
that
gonna
is your
be in they're
$50 right there.
they're gonna be in New York either next week or the week before. They're gonna have Dynamite and Rampage in the like Rochester, New York kind of area,
Mhm.
whatever. It's not far from Long Island, bro. I
And
don't
if they're
see
going to have
I
a
don't
show in Long Island, they're going to have MJF there.
I don't see MJF coming back unless it's in his hometown. Because that's
Mhm.
the only place he can be a babyface. That's the only place that he gets fucking like, people be so fucking excited, bro. Once his music plays, he comes out. You know, I mean,
I think,
uh,
though, if
eh,
they're going to build something with him, being the next champion, it's got to be all out where him and CM Punk, have that stare down. And then you can let CM Punk, do some matches and stuff, throughout the months leading to Full Gear so that he is a defending champ. And then
mhm.
we get ourselves, MJF as world champion, which I think needs to happen, because I think if you want to get those ratings up in AEW, if you have MJF as your poster child and as your world champion top heel, it's going to be a needle mover right there.
Especially if Tony Khan doesn't want MJF to go over to to Stamford, Connecticut.
He needs the title. If I said it, if he doesn't win the world title by 2024, you will be seeing him on WWE.
Yep.
Mark my words. But I
But
think if Moxley does win, I think, they're going to continue building the Blackpool Combat Club, and then, whoever the Joker is, that'll be, his next feud. Either if it's, Sammy Guevara or Adam Cole or Samoa Joe, that will be, Mox's next feud, which I think would be pretty interesting if it's
I
any
feel like
one of those
I
three.
feel I feel like at this point the Blackpool Combat Club, they're going to be unstoppable, especially if Moxley does retain the title, because they'll have the ROH Pure Championship, the ROH Championship, as well as the AEW Championship. I mean, bro,
I don't know about the Pure title, because I hope you know, next Wednesday on Dynamite, it's being held in Buffalo, New York. That's Garcia's hometown.
I know. We're
But
just
then
gonna have
again,
to wait and
Jericho
see,
might
man.
screw him for storyline purposes.
Could be. I mean, he screwed Jericho all this time, but bro,
So now, before we close off this predictions video, is there any other surprises or something you think is going to happen? Because you never know on a pay-per-view.
you never know, but I don't think so. Um, it just seems like everything on this card is pretty much, cemented in. It's not like oh, we're gonna have, Will Osprey or whatever, and he's gonna, be building up this match against this mystery opponent. You don't know who it's gonna be. Like, there's not one of those on this card.
Mhm.
Whoever is gonna be the Joker is definitely gonna be an AEW guy. I still have to say it's gonna be Sammy Guevara. You know,
Hey, we'll have to wait and see on that. I just think that for All Out, I think either Adam Cole or Samoa Joe, they're going to be coming back, I think. I hope MJF comes back. I think that this is the perfect time for him to come back. I really miss him on TV, but I really don't know at this point what they're going to do with him. And I'm going to be probably as surprised as everybody when MJF comes back.
We're just gonna have to wait and see, man. I'm looking forward to it. This channel's only gonna get bigger and better. The more shit that actually goes down in the pro wrestling world, we might have to go back to fucking making the We Are Wrestling talk show about the fucking news, man. Because I mean, we have Triple H taking over the creative. Things are exciting again. Like when we sort of like,
right.
so when we sort of like shifted into this, you know, doing like episodes on like, you know, certain superstars or certain moments or whatever from, you know, the history books. I mean, wrestling at the moment wasn't really that exciting outside of AEW. And now we have Raw, SmackDown, AEW. Soon we're going to have NXT. Like, this just going to have, we're going to have to change formats a little bit. At least, you know.
NWA.
Maybe even starting another off-brand show or whatever to where we go, like, if Ben doesn't want to do it, me and you can like go over the news or whatever. Just because I feel like over the next couple months,
I'm down for some news. You know that. I'm down for anything.
I just feel like there's gonna be so much that we're gonna need to discuss. So we're gonna have to definitely talk and see, you know, what we can do about this, man. But make sure you guys are subscribed with the notification bell turned on, because you guys are not gonna want to miss any of the fucking content.
You're not going to want to miss it at all. Let us know in the comment section below what your guys' predictions are and what you guys think is going to happen, who you think is going to show up, because anything can happen on any pay-per-view. But if you guys enjoyed this long pay-per-view prediction video for AEW All Out, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, help support the channel by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. When we get there, we have a massive giveaway that we are going to be doing. We'll have a whole video on that when we
Donnie's giving away his car.
Not happening. Links down in the description below. You can go follow Danny and I on our social medias and other YouTube pages. All the links are down below.
Don't forget to watch along, man.
Especially Danny's watch-alongs. That link is down below because, guys, he is pumping out watch-alongs for wrestling. So you guys need to go over there and really, you know, support him with that. And also support the We Are Wrestling channel, because we got some watch-alongs coming that you guys are not going to want to miss. Clash at the Castle.
Remember.
Yep. But
remember.
All the We Are...
Remember, man. The day that this gets posted, more than likely Sunday morning, a couple hours from now, bro, me and Donnie will both be live. You guys will be able to watch this show with us and get our real-time reactions, man.
I'm watching the pre-show.
You're not going to want to miss it.
I'm watching the pre-show. Are we going to be covering the pre-show?
Probably not on the stream, but we can definitely watch it.
Okay, because I want to see Kip. I want to see Kip and Pac.
I'm definitely going to watch it. But I don't want to start the stream until like the main show starts, because it's going to be like a 5-6 hour show. So, you know, that's a long fucking time.
Yeah, but to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we appreciate your love and support. And of course, you guys already know, we are taking over. Peace.